almost out of voice because I organized in New York today. We had 200,000 plus people in the streets in New York.
Amazing.
Our national numbers, Minnesota, despite press trying to tell everyone to stay home, that area still had 80,000 people turn out.
Incredible.
And national parks was estimating 8.6 million nationally and still counting. We still have a lot of cities to count, but I'm just overwhelmed and so excited. And I just want to run around and scream from the rooftops that we've got 8.6 million and counting, with so much more left to count.
Yeah.
So that's it. I just wanted to come share joy. That's all.
I mean, first of all, I want you to, I don't know, we have this running joke, or not even say joke, in our family, in our little family, about taking flowers. You should take your flowers. I hope you're able to take your flowers, because I know you do a lot of work and you're humble about these things when you talk about it. So please take your flowers. Okay? Because I know you've been part of this, and I know you've been looking forward to this, and I know you were integral in organizing and supporting and doing all the things that need to be done to help this movement. So take your flowers, okay?
Thank you very much. It's the least I can do. And if anybody else is trying to figure out how to do more, the link tree in my bio is built especially for that. And I think, Steve, you've added nokings.com to your bio too.
Correct. It's in there. Yes. Yep.
And I think a lot of these sites are going to transition into ways that you can find to plug in your local areas. So go there and use the resources and take joy in the millions of people that are with all of us.
Agreed. Again, thank you for everything you do, friend. I appreciate you very much. Now get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm going to drop. Thank you for letting me share the news.
You got it. Talk to you later. All right. Bye. All right. I saw Jess had yes. I'd asked Jess if she wanted to join tonight and ride shotgun, because I know she said, yeah, she's tired, but we'll talk. I'm sure we'll have some stimulating conversations. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
I know it's like, I'm good. It's like the old days in a way, right? Yeah.
I love it.
Before y'all got big and famous and an amazing battler that you are. So how was your day? I know you had an interesting encounter. You want to share?
I had a couple interesting encounters today. So I talked to a couple people. It was really good. I got to see Martin Luther King Jr., son, the third, speak today, and his wife, which was pretty freaking cool.
That's amazing.
We did have one or two encounters with a couple MAGAs, but they were quickly swifted off. No big deal. Everything was peaceful. Everything was great.
Let me guess, Jess, mediocre white men?
Oh, yeah, of course. Always.
Yeah.
Always. Mm-hmm. But everything was good. The Free Palestine people were there. It was beautiful. They have a right to be there. That was beautiful. It was just, I was just crying on the panel because I had everybody up, and I was just like, I'm just so blessed. Like, I'm so grateful for you, for RJ, for the people who started building me into this community, who allowed me to have all these connections, who brought me into activism to fight fascism. And I love you, and I'm grateful, and I appreciate you. And I don't know if I've told you that lately, because we haven't really been able to cross too many paths, besides every once in a while me being like, are you alive? Are you okay? But
Thank you, Jess Raiders. Well, you can take your flowers too. Okay.
Jess Raid.
Okay. So did you happen to see, I don't know what side you're on, but it's really, our friendship may depend on your answer to this next question. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No, Steve.
Thank you. Okay, just making sure. So you're on, so you can stay. So we're making some very difficult decisions in the mod chat. Things are getting a little off the rails. It is 9 o'clock. It is 9 o'clock, and there's one particular person who is the instigator in this entire thing.
Is it Sam?
I will not name names, Cookie. I will not name names, Cookie. I promise. I will not name names, Cookie.
It's one of them. I knew it was one of them. Fucking troublemakers. We were literally protesting, and there was a sign, and it said something. And Tara goes, we can have a discussion about pineapple on pizza, or we can debate on pineapple on pizza, but we can't debate about human rights. I said, there is no debate if pineapple goes on pizza, Tara. I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand.
I mean, I didn't realize. I mean, first of all, I guess I never realized it was such a hot topic until I brought it up, but apparently. And then pumpkin spice, Jess, please don't tell me you're a fan of pumpkin spice.
Only during Halloween and only in iced coffee. Otherwise, no. Don't kick me, guys. I see your finger, Steve. Keep it where it is.
It's just like, fine.
Keep your finger where it is.
All right, let me bring up Fish Trucker because I know he was probably out and about in it today. And I'm curious about his. I don't want to hear from everybody today. I want to hear about. I just want to hear if you did go out. Oh, hey, it's you. You're not
That's not Fish.
I know you.
Hey.
I must have hit the wrong button. Hi, Lainey.
Well,
how you doing?
You hit the right button.
I mean, yes, indeed. I did indeed. I did indeed. So, first question: pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
Share. Hang on. Beep, beep, beep.
Way to avoid the question, Lainey.
What? What's the question?
First, pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
Hell yeah.
Oh, damn, Lainey.
But hey, you see
well,
that?
since
you see
I know
that?
you're in the fight. Who's that?
Friend. This is my
Hold
new
on a
friend.
second. Hold on.
That's my new friend.
You can't see it. Oh, you can.
Very nice. It's the Hulk.
It's Bruce Banner, guys.
Here's the kicker. He asked to take a picture with me.
Well.
He asked to take a picture. With his camera. This was me just giving Noelle both of our cameras. It's like he gave her his camera to take a picture for his camera, for him to have a picture. And I was like, well, I'm getting in on this action.
Hell yes, you are. I kind of feel like this might be one of those moments. I know I see
you
it.
You can tell, but this is my shoulder. My arm goes like this around the back.
Grab a little Hulk cheek.
I wasn't that forward, but like it was resting on that hip, I will say.
Your arm goes like that around everyone, Lainey. Steve, did you happen to see the picture of me, Lainey, Martina, and Moth?
You guys all cuddling? Yeah, I did.
No, that was later. No, that was with me, Martina, Amanda, Emma, and was that everybody?
Bridget.
And Bridget. Yeah.
No, the fucking picture of me, Moth, Lainey, and Martina is me looking like I don't belong there because I am up to all of their waists, and that's fine.
We also felt because we saw Naquan today. Naquan also.
So he's
a lovely man, but like yes, we found out that like I think TikTok is made for the shorties. Like it's made for the shorties.
Well, that's right. You are quite tall, Lainey.
I am 5'10". I am 5'10".
Okay, so yes. So the vibe that I got from that picture, because you look so calm, cool, and collected, but it's almost, I feel like it's the duck on the surface of the water. Like everything's chill here, and the legs underneath the surface are going like a mile a minute.
I was like, like he was so kind. It was very nice. He walked up to me and another trans veteran. We were networking. And he came up and he was like, so why are y'all here? Because we were in this little like press gaggle because we were there to like talk to reporters who then immediately rushed away as soon as the speeches were over. We're like, well, damn, they didn't even talk to us.
Thanks.
But he stuck around and he came over to us. I thought he had already left and he came over to us and he was like, how are y'all doing? Like, what are y'all here for? And we were like, well, we're both trans veterans. And, we were just like talking about like, things we could do. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. He was like, I'm so proud of y'all and thank you for your service and all this stuff. And he was like, can I get a picture with y'all? And I was like, Beck.
What?
Okay. and then here's the thing. I don't know if I said this when on yours, Jess, but as he was about to walk away, he said, I love you. And I said, I love you. I love you too. The Hulk said, Hulk love me.
Hulk love me.
Hulk love me.
Steve.
But then we were up on that landing. Like there's the landing to the side of the steps in front of the library, right? On Fifth Avenue. We were in New York
Oh, I know
City,
right where that is. Yeah.
and we were right next to Patience, the lion, and their names are Patience and Fortitude. If y'all don't know,
That's exactly right.
And I used to be a double-decker tour bus tour guide.
Oh, I can
in
totally see that.
Manhattan. And so we were just it had a really nice point of view for, and so I decided to do a live, and we just were just watching it was just wall to wall from all of the sidewalk and all of the street all the way across, and just in both directions as far as you could see. And Martina said it was around 200,000 is what they're estimating. 200,000.
Yeah, Philly was
Yeah, she said that
100,000.
when she came up. That's incredible. That's
It's-
incredible.
It's
If
crazy.
you haven't seen the drone shots of NYC, it is incredible.
First of all,
I don't have a Hulk story, but that was my day.
that's what I was just
Oh,
gonna
I
say.
guess you got to see
I
Bernie.
heard you met Bernie.
Well, I mean, I worked for Bernie so a long
Yeah.
time ago, but it was just like it was unexpected where he showed. I went to one of the rallies that he was at that I was hoping, because I spoke to somebody in his office and there was a slight chance I was going to get some screen time with him. It was too nuts. I didn't want to bother him. He was doing his thing. But this was in Stowe. He just showed up, and it's funny because the microphone kept cutting out. He just at one point he just scrapped it and said, "Screw it, whatever. I'm just going to yell. I'm going to tell you all why the microphone sucks, because the 1% of the 1% made the damn microphone, and they're all fucking oligarchs." Anyway,
Love Bernie.
Again, it does not compare to the Hulk. Nothing would
Fred.
compare. Especially, I think it's pretty obvious that that lady might have did a little Hulk cheek grab. I think that's pretty obvious. Not wanting to admit it, but I think it might be pretty obvious that happened.
I could have. It was right there.
It was right there.
It was right there.
Okay. Well, I'm so happy you guys did that.
Yeah,
today.
I also
Change
got to
background.
meet Susan Sarandon, and I stood next to Ilana Glazer and Abby Jacobson for like 15 minutes. I didn't say
Wow, that's
anything to them.
cool.
Yeah,
I know I know Ilana Glazer, but who's
they're
the other
both.
one?
That's the two stars of Broad City.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're
I know I've
besties.
heard the name. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
Yeah, they were there too.
So you got some gas in your tank after today, sounds like.
Yeah. Oh, we marched all the way down and met up with Martina at the end and walked through all the signs that people left on the fence. It was really cool. It was, I welled up a few times, just the love for my city, and it was awesome. It was so cool.
I love that too. I want to, somebody else has stories from today that they'd like to share, the good and bad. Overwhelming once again. The protests were peaceful once again.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's necessary that we talk about what happened in Minnesota. I think it's really, really important that we talk about that. I want to make sure that we can mix in, obviously, the events of today, democracy doing its democratic thing. And again, as a reminder, the three separate rallies that I went to today, they all had opposition, and I have no problem with that. And this is the whole point. We want civil discourse. Even the protesters, even the pro-Trump supporters that were there today, were peaceful. They weren't crazy. They were using megaphones, but there were people that were supporting the No Kings protest that were using megaphones too. So I think that's the point, right? We can have civil disagreement. We don't need to have violence. And just about in every case that we've seen over the past 10 years, the violence has come from either agitators or aggressive law enforcement or ICE raiders or just, unnecessary. And like we talked about a lot this week about how the legacy media has sensationalized this whole thing. It doesn't matter if you're a fan of, MSNBC or Fox, they all have an agenda. They all want eyeballs. So they're all going to tell their story, right? I believe in local journalism. I believe in the credibility and the integrity of the journalistic profession, but don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. When Lainey tells you that they were hanging out with Mark Ruffalo, you can believe that because there's photographic evidence. But otherwise,
I sent
check your
this to
sources.
my son, and
Find the truth.
I sent this to my son, and I said, "Do you know who that is on my right?" And he said, "AI." He roasts me all the time. I want to tell you, like this kid, he roasts me every time. Holy cow! It's like
Somebody just asked, and you guys are so sweet. Yes, we did hear from Eve. I have been in communication with Eve, and Eve is good. Eve is tired, but Eve is good. So you guys are very sweet for even asking. All right, I want to talk about the events that happened in Minnesota, primarily because, as expected, the right-wing echo chamber has already started to paint the person who, I am not going to use the person's name who committed these allegations of crime. And at last check, there is still a manhunt underway for this individual in and around Minnesota. So the story is such. I'm going to read you a couple of different stories because there's some local reporting connected to it. I'm also going to read you the story reported by the New York Times. Do you want to say something, Lainey? I'm sorry, did I interrupt?
No. I'm just looking at things.
Do you have the BBC?
Okay.
Do you have the BBC article too, Steve?
I have that as well.
Okay.
Most of the information I found you can send it to me if I might not have the one you have. I may not have the one that you're talking to. The man suspecting of shooting 2 Democratic state lawmakers in Minnesota early on Saturday had served on a state board with one of the victims, the records show. The suspect has been identified. I will not give their name. Was appointed several times by Minnesota governors to the Workforce Development Board, where he served with State Senator John A. Hoffman, who was shot and survived. Part of the story that's getting spun is that this person was appointed by Tim Walz. It's not true. He was appointed by a Democratic governor, but he was appointed to a commission where there were 41 other individuals. This is a business commission. They wanted voices from the business community, and Minnesota does not have a party designation when you register to vote. So no one knows who he was registered, what he was registered as, or again, part of the lie and misinformation. So I don't expect you guys to trust me. I hope you do, but I would encourage you to look this up on your own. Okay, so that's part of that's part of why I want to talk about it tonight. The alleged perpetrator and Senator Hoffman attended a virtual meeting together in 2022 for a discussion about the job market in the aftermath of the coronavirus pandemic. Minutes from that meeting show. Drew Evans, the superintendent of the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, said investigators did not yet know how well the two knew each other, if at all. The alleged perpetrator was appointed to the board in 2016 by Mark Dayton, a Democrat governor who was then the governor. More recently, he was appointed by Governor Tim Walz reappointed by Governor Tim Walz, also a Democrat. The board has 41 members who are appointed by the governor, and its goal is to improve business development in the state. A state report in 2016 listed the alleged perpetrator's political affiliations as none or other. And another report in 2020 listed him as having no party preference. Voters do not declare political affiliation when they register in Minnesota. The police have said the suspect in the attacks disguised himself as a police officer and went to the homes of 2 state lawmakers in the Minneapolis suburbs. He shot and wounded Senator Hoffman and his wife Yvette, and then fatally shot State Rep Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark. He remains on the run as of this posting. U.S. Senator Tina Smith, Democrat of Minnesota, said in an interview that the alleged perpetrator had a list that included her name and the names of other lawmakers, all of whom were Democrats. I've got that list here. So the list, hang on one second. The list includes, again, Tina Smith, who's a senator from Minnesota. Hold on, I have it. I thought I had it queued up. Everybody, please keep tapping and sharing. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Where is it? Stand by. Guess I don't have it. I remember it, though. It was, here it is. I'm sorry. The list also included Governor Tim Walz, U.S. Rep. Ilhan Omar, U.S. Senator Tina Smith, and State Attorney General Keith Ellison, according to law enforcement sources familiar with the story. Dozens of other Minnesota Democrats were on the target list, also because they found the manifesto in his car. Police said the list, which was retrieved from the suspect's vehicle, also named Hortman and Hoffman. So if we follow the logic, right, these 2 people were on the manifesto, and he perpetrated these acts, allegedly. Both victims are Democrats, and Hortman was formerly the Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives. The list of potential targets also included the names of abortion providers and pro-choice activists. Several sources told ABC News many of the Democratic lawmakers on the list have been outspoken about pro-choice policy positions, 2 sources said. Security resources have been dispatched to protect those people named on the list. The Capitol Police said it's working with federal, state, and local partners. The shootings began around 2 a.m. this morning when Hoffman and his wife, Yvette, were both shot multiple times at their home in Champlin, Minnesota, authorities have said. After Hoffman was shot, officers headed to proactively check on Hortman, and good for the officer for just being like, maybe we should check on this. And sure enough, that person lived, the Hortman's, or the former speaker lived in a town nearby called Brooklyn Park. Around 3:35 a.m., the officers found the suspect dressed as a police officer coming out of Hortman's house. The suspect fired at the officers, gunfire was exchanged, and the suspect was able to escape and flee on foot. Hortman and her husband, Mark, were both found fatally shot at the house. Suspect's vehicle, which looked like a police vehicle, including police lights, was in Hortman's driveway, authorities said, and the list of potential targets was found inside the car. Waltz said in a statement, quote, "We are not a country that settles our differences at gunpoint. We've demonstrated again and again and again in our state that it is possible to peacefully disagree, that our state is strengthened by civil public debate. We must stand united against all forms of violence. We will spare no resources in bringing those responsible to justice." I don't even know. I think the first thing that I wanted to say about this is that we have to stop talking about it as if fascism is on the rise, because it's here. It's here when we have, the twice impeached, four-time indicted, sexually abusing fraudster, convicted felon, who, by the way, was just slapped down by the entire en banc panel of the appeals court in the E. Jean Carroll appeal. So that's another loss for him. That happened yesterday. When you have him having a military parade that just happens to coincide with his birthday, when you have the celebration of the power and strength, when you have his supporters out in the streets in the communist haven that is Vermont, chanting mass deportations now, it's here. It's here. When you connect a person's political ideology with some of their background, and the reason I bring that up is because there is evidence as well, part of his manifesto, that he had an affiliation with the NAR Church. The NAR Church refers to the New Apostolic Reformation, a movement within Christianity that emphasizes apostolic leadership and the restoration of spiritual gifts. It is not a single unified church denomination, but rather a network of churches and leaders that share similar beliefs and practices. Of the movement, NAR churches are not single and unified. They are a network of churches and share similar beliefs and practices. NAR emphasizes the restoration of apostolic leadership and spiritual gifts such as prophecy and healing. NAR leaders often advocate for the Seven Mountain Mandate. You may be familiar with that because Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, has also been connected with NAR through the Seven Mountain Mandate, which calls for Christians to influence and control key areas of society such as government, media, and education. NAR emphasizes the importance of spiritual warfare against demonic forces, which they believe are at play in society. The movement has faced criticism for its claims to authority, its emphasis on spiritual warfare, and its association with the Seven Mountain Mandate. So this person, the alleged perpetrator in this case, has a connection to NAR through his posts, through his through some of the previous statements and comments that have been made publicly and through socials. And if you look at the target list, a lot of references on the manifesto were people who provide reproductive health care, clinics, political, politicians who've come out to support women's rights to their body, et cetera, et cetera. So that's where we are. Thoughts, you guys?
What is this? What is the group called again?
NAR. It stands for the New Apostolic Reformation.
Why do I feel like I've heard of them before?
Mike Johnson, Seven Mountain Mandate. They have a deep connection with the Seven Mountain Mandate. Seven Mountain Mandate basically means that you believe that Christianity should influence all areas of society. I'm summarizing it very in general terms, but
1.5 million people?
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christmas. Sorry, I don't know if you know or not. I got a puppy, so my life is a mess.
Oh no. Like you needed another animal in your house, Jess. Yeah, so basically Gilead. You're right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cookie. Appreciate you.
Christian supremacists.
Yeah, so I think I don't believe, listen, if somebody's going to protest and somebody's going to throw, rocks at a car, and whatever, I really, at the end of the day, I've got to say, I don't give a shit. I really don't, because we're talking about Lainey's right to exist being taken away. We're talking about Jess's access to her body being taken away. We're talking about, human rights violations. I really don't care about your car. I don't give a shit.
And I want to know.
I don't tolerate. Let me just land this plane here real quick. Once though, it's like this. Of course, we condone it. We condemn it. I'm sorry. We condemn it. If anybody cannot condemn this, it's like if you want to climb into under your red hat, your blanket, or your rainbow flag, I don't give a fuck. If you are advocating for this level of violence to get your message across, then I'm sorry, you're no better off than anybody else.
And what would he have done if there were children in the home?
I know. Exactly.
I also don't understand. No, you're fine. I can't wrap my head around the people who are so mad about cars burning in the street, but are okay with January 6ers being let out, and nobody made a big deal about it. They said it was peaceful protest. Like, my brain can't understand how MAGA doesn't correlate violence with what happened on January 6th, but correlates cars burning and people saying, you guys aren't fucking listening and we have no other way to make you listen. Here's what we have to do. When actually people were peacefully protesting in LA. It was ICE
Absolutely, they
that
were.
instigated these situations. I mean, we have video after video. We have friggin' literal horses, officers on horses with batons hitting people walking, running over people. A woman was trying to get to her home and they pew-pewed her in the forehead with a rubber bullet. We have like people who have journalism passes, who are allowed to be anywhere as a journalist, being pew-pewed at. Like, what's happening here? But like J6 was okay?
That's also
exactly.
not how they're supposed to, like, those are supposed to bounce off the ground. Those are, like, to slow them down. Like, they're not supposed to point blank at people the way they've been doing. Did y'all hear also about the guy in Culpeper, Virginia, that drove an SUV into protesters? That happened today.
No.
Sounds
okay.
right.
Well, that doesn't. Again, this is where we are. I mean, lady, I could be totally wrong about this, but were you an MP? Did I ever hear you talk about that?
No, I was a mechanic.
Okay.
Sorry, my sinuses are so bad right now.
It's all good. It's all good. So on that particular topic, we'll get into. I want to talk about the Culpeper thing in a second. I just want to play this sound because this is a Florida sheriff. I'm not sure you guys have heard this yet, but this is a person who is in law enforcement, whose sole purpose is to, protect and serve, right? Public trust, an employee to protect citizenry, people out expressing their rights. I'd like you to hear what he had to say when it comes to protesters.
It's great to be here in the Space Coast. I'm joined by a bunch of leaders that further exemplify why we are not and will never be California.
If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
Wow.
We're not going to play.
Groups talk about assembling over the weekend.
Listen to that again.
Much of that in California.
If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
There you go.
I have a video that goes along with this that I just sent to you. This video is about, I want to let you guys know before you watch the video, if Steve will actually play the video, because sometimes, I don't know, TikTok is funny with videos sometimes, but there are two children in this car. This guy is accused of punching a federal agent in the face. There's no video. The attorney has asked for the video multiple times in discovery. They have no evidence of it, but that's their excuse on why they did what they did. This guy's a U.S. citizen.
Where did you send it? Did you text it to me?
No, on Discord. I could text it to you if you want, but
it's all right.
Discord's usually easier for me.
It's tech, Jess. Give me a break. Hold on. Where is it?
Oh, direct message.
Did you put it? Well, I've got the problem is that. Can you text it to me? I'll just do it that way. Sorry. But again, a law enforcement individual basically saying that if somebody throws a brick at one of his officers, he will inform his family where to pick up their remains. So what are people supposed to do? Just continue to sit by and have their rights continually violated? Then when you protest, you can expect law enforcement. I know marginalized communities, black and brown people in particular, that's their daily life. That's their daily life. But apparently it doesn't matter now. It just doesn't matter. So like we talked earlier, I mentioned this earlier, we can no longer talk about this in terms of a rise to fascism. It's here. It is here. The question is, can we keep the momentum of the tens of millions of Americans, or 8 or 9 million Americans that were out there expressing our constitutional rights peacefully today? The only thing that we hear from the right is hatred. Those protests in California were peaceful. The initial tickets that were issued were misdemeanors for failure to disperse. Misdemeanors. It's a civil violation, like a fucking parking ticket. And then when things got escalated is when I showed up. This is intentional. They are trying to do it to you. And most of the people that are salivating over it are mediocre fucking white men. Pitiful. All right, let me play this sound. I won't play obviously I'm not going to share the video in case it's really bad, but I'll play the sound.
It's not really bad, but the sound might not make any. But yeah.
Okay. Well, let me see here.
Yeah, watch it first.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. I think it's just crazy. I just can't understand I just can't. Like, I'm almost at a loss of words at this point.
Yeah, Matt did get detained yesterday. He was released after about 10 hours.
Yeah, he was released this morning. He is still in D.C., though. I talked to him today.
Yeah, well, about it. We can talk about it, but as the story goes, a video shared on social media Wednesday morning shows federal agents in L.A. that ram an unsuspecting vehicle and take the occupant into custody at gunpoint. On Wednesday afternoon, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security confirmed that it was an operation by federal agents as part of a targeted arrest of a man they say assaulted an immigration officer. The video was posted on Blue Sky by journalist and videographer Sean Becker Carmichael, who I follow, by the way. Video is a recording of a screen replaying security footage from a nearby business. In it, the white Mercedes. I think we've seen that. The white Mercedes. I mean, they just dragged him out of the car and dragged him away.
There was 2 kids in the car, and they literally one agent in a truck hit the side of the car. There's 2 kids in the back seat. They pinned him in on the side of the car where the children were. The mom, and then they gassed it. They gassed the car after pinning the door in. There's children in the car.
How are you tonight, Chip? Okay.
Yo, I'm doing all right. I'm watching the hockey game. How about yourself?
Okay. Why'd you request?
I'm curious. It's all men until no men. I keep seeing this. It just seems like there's a lot of hate towards men. I don't really understand what this movement is about.
Would you like it from my perspective?
Yeah, if you feel like you can put a good perspective, for sure.
I think I can, considering I'm a man and I believe that it's all men until it's no men. The reason that we say that is because of the example that I gave earlier about how, by and large, the majority of crimes against women are committed by men, in particular white men, in particular U.S. citizens. And because of the patriarchy and because these crimes aren't addressed because the system does not punish the perpetrator like it should, we live in a society where rape is apologized, where there's justification done for crimes against women, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So unless we can address it and everyone involved, if you're in opposition to it, stands up against it, then it's never going to change.
So stand up against violence against women.
Yeah.
Well, I will say I stand up for that. I think we should never be violent against women.
Not just violence. What about our health care?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not just about the violence, though, Chip. It's also about, like, locker room talk, for example. Like, if you see it, say something. Do you do that? Do you call it out when you see it?
Like, see what? What would be an example of something you've called out?
When, like, locker room talk. You know what locker room talk is? What it's referred to as?
I'm asking for, what's an example of one time you
sexualizing women. Sexualizing women and considering them as objects.
I'll always do that because they do the same to us.
So you're part of the problem. So that's exactly proving the point. It's all men.
No, I don't think so. because I don't mind being sexualized, and some women don't as well.
Okay, that's not the point though. So you're kind of proving the point.
A
man.
lot of
You're-
women
you're-
don't actually mind it, and they do it themselves.
Hold
They
on, hold
encourage
on,
it.
hold on. Easy. Don't get up in your feelings. Don't prove my point. You are proving the point though, that it is all men. So there's a society out there. Like you can say that there may be some women who don't mind it or some men that don't mind it, but the system is built to protect men. It's called the patriarchy, the manosphere, those kinds of things.
I think the system is made to protect all of us right now. It's true that, yeah, there might be more violence on women, but like I don't really see how we're ever going to like fix that, because this is a biological issue. Stronger. The bad people are going to have more success if they're stronger. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just a basic logical point of like, whoever's stronger is going to have more violent crimes. That doesn't mean all men are bad. It just means that all violent crimes are men. Like you understand that, right? Like when we're looking at a mathematic claim here, you're saying because of all the violence being men, all men are violent. But that's not what that means.
So are the majority of people that live in our country men or women, male or female?
I think it's very even. If I guess it would be
51-49. It's 51-49. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying that? Okay. I'm not even going to try. It will go way over your head. The point.
they're
I
big
want to
and-
address something before
They're
we get
big and
far
strong
away.
and they accidentally
I'm
bump
about
into
to do
stuff.
that. Exactly. So Chip, I tried to explain it to him from my perspective, and I guess I'm hoping that you can maybe walk away from this conversation. I don't know if you will, understanding that what you just did is perpetuating exactly what we're talking about. So Jess, Lainey, I'd like you guys to talk to our friend Chip, please.
So first of all, I just want to backtrack to when you said most women don't care if they're sexualized. I'm going to tell you something. As a woman, I have a lot of women friends. I talk to a lot of women on the internet.
Me
I know
too.
a lot of women.
Me too.
Right. So the women that don't mind being sexualized is because the patriarchy exists, right? So women feel, there are women, most women who don't mind being sexualized feel like that is how they have to be in order to survive in a patriarchy, which means that men hold all of the power, right? So in order for a woman to succeed or feel wanted or feel loved, they have to accept that they're sexualized and not say anything about it. So I think that it's disingenuous to say that you know how a woman actually feels when she is being sexualized. So instead,
I never said that.
It's what
You
you
did, though.
insinuated, though.
You
It's
implied
exactly
that.
what
Well,
you
no.
yes,
So
it's-
my point is that I can
Let her
safely-
finish, Chip. Just let her finish. Chip,
Well,
let her finish.
hold on. She's clearly
Chip.
misunderstanding my point.
No, Chip, let her finish. Let her finish.
Give me two
Let her finish.
sentences to clarify.
No, you're doing
Because
it
she
again.
clearly doesn't understand.
No, you're doing it again. I'm gonna let her finish, please. Thank you. Go ahead, Jess.
Your exact statement was most women don't mind being sexualized. And I'm telling you as a woman why you as a man would see that maybe possibly a woman wouldn't mind being sexualized. It's not because we don't mind being sexualized. It's because we don't have the power structure to be able to say to you, hey, don't do that. So the problem is that for so long in this country, the power structure has always been held by men and white men in particular.
So I think we go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think we all have a very underlying desire to be loved, right? And we all seek physical attraction. I think this is something the majority of people in the world agree with, right? Or let's just stick with U.S. society. We all want to find, I would say the majority wants to find love or find. Point here is like it feels good when someone sexualizes you if it's your partner. Like
Stop.
that's
Stop.
exactly what we're
Stop,
seeking.
Chip.
Both
Stop.
genders
Stop,
are
Chip.
seeking.
Stop.
Number
Stop.
two, hold
Stop,
on, I
Chip.
let you
no,
talk.
No,
You guys,
no.
is this fair? Is this fair?
No, because what you
Well,
just
Chip,
said is harmful.
Host, is this
It
fair?
is. Well, Chip, you know what's
I said we
interesting, though,
want
as
to
an
find
observer-
romance. How is that harmful? I said we all seek to find romance.
Sexualization and
Right.
romance are not.
Difference.
They're not
You're missing the
exclusive.
point.
They're
I
not.
think they go hand in hand. But let me give you a better
But
example.
that's the problem, Chip.
Okay, I'll
Because they
concede that
don't
point.
go hand in hand. You don't understand. You're
I'll concede
speaking
that
to
point.
a woman who's telling you they don't go hand in hand.
Okay, I'll
I'm
concede that
telling
point.
you that the thin line between sexualization in your brain and romance is because you have been indoctrinated by the patriarchy without
Yeah.
actually listening, potentially on how that could be harmful and hurtful. It's because, yes, women and men both want to find love. It is a natural human instinct. But you're not understanding that you can romance your partner without sexualizing them.
So this is where I'm kind of confused, genuinely, because you guys are here kind of making the point that sexualization is not always good. You don't want to be sexualized, but at the same time, I on movement, which is all about being prideful.
Go ahead, Lainey.
Hold on, let me finish. Please let me finish. That whole movement is about being prideful in your sexuality. So why are you encouraging people to be
Perfect segue.
prideful in their sexuality?
No, it isn't.
But you're also saying it's bad
It's
for men
not.
to sexualize women. Why is it
It's
only
not.
bad for men, but it's okay
not.
for gay people?
If you could shut up for a second, I could explain to you how you were so
You guys
wrong.
seem to encourage sexuality for gay people, but not for
dickhead.
straight men.
Hey, if you could
please,
stop
Chip.
for a second, stop yammering. I can explain to you that when we talk about pride, we are not talking about a pride as in the opposite of humility. It's a pride as in the opposite of the shame that cishet people have put upon us for merely existing. That we should somehow be ashamed.
We just legalized gay marriage.
Hey.
Chip, stop. Stop,
Oh,
Chip. Stop.
Thank you
You're
so
proving the point.
much, big guy.
Just
And
stop.
then immediately, right-wing think tanks decided to go after trans people instead because they knew they had lost via the Supreme Court. You didn't give it to us. The Supreme Court determined that it was an equal right that should
So
be
what are your pronouns?
granted.
What do you identify as?
It's irrelevant.
Is it? Because like
You're
also
not
the prompt on
speaking.
the
You're
screen,
speaking directly to me,
it's
correct?
like
So
the
you
prompt on
don't
the
need
screen.
that.
If you just switch genders, like it seems you have done, are you no
No,
longer?
I did not
man?
switch. I
Ladies,
did
say the
not
word.
switch genders.
Are you
That
no
is
longer
not
a
what
toxic
being
man
trans
because you
is.
changed?
That is not what being trans is, and please stop pivoting, okay? So that I can explain to you that when someone
You're
is
proving the point.
GAY or trans, you have given us a shame. Like your demographic has
No, I
said
love you.
that is shame.
I don't shame you at
Shush,
all. I
I
love you.
didn't-
Stop
I support
talking.
you.
Chip, stop talking. You're
I
proving the point.
backtracked and said your demographic, okay? Cishet men, right? You have said what you do is shameful, even though I do the same behavior just with a different gender, right? Like, so, but us having loving relationships is shameful. That's what we're talking about. So when we say we have pride, we're saying we will not be shamed by you any longer. We do not accept your shame.
So
for us
again,
merely
you mentioned
existing.
the terms loving relationship. That's exactly what I said earlier, and you said, well, it's not the same. But now you're saying it is about a loving relationship.
I'm saying that you shame us no matter what our relationships look like because they are different from yours and you don't like that, right? And I'm
I'm
saying
not shaming you at all.
again. I'm saying
You are, though.
like generally. I'm talking about generally, okay? But let's get back to the matter at hand and not go to
Yeah,
a
I-
side topic.
I want to
I
ask
do
you a
have
question.
another
Chip.
example to
I'm going to
back
ask
up
you a
my
question,
claim.
Chip. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you believe you can have love without sex?
I mean, yeah, you can have like your love for your family, or
What
like
about
a friend.
intimacy?
So yeah, that's where I'm going. So do you think you can have an intimate relationship with a partner who's not part of your family without sex?
An intimate relationship with someone that's not sexual? Yeah, I think intimate can be like emotional as well.
Okay, so then you leaned in. So I'm glad you said that because that completely contradicts what you were saying earlier about how love and sex coincide. They don't.
No, because
They
we
don't.
were
For some
we
people
were
they do.
specifically talking
Hold on.
about women being
Hold on.
sexualized.
Hold on. So now, just a little observation, by the way. To me, you interrupted them. That would be an example of your misogyny that you've not yet unpacked.
No, I
So
interrupt
that's why
everyone fair and
I'm-
square. Trust me, I don't discriminate.
Well,
when it comes
not
to
in this
that.
conversation. Now you're doing it now to try to cover yourself, but you didn't do it when they
I
were
would
talking.
think that's because that might be because you're the host.
I was observing. No, that's because you're a misogynist and you don't know it.
Big assumptions, but that's fine.
No, it's not an assumption. I speak to misogynists all the time. I know one when I see one.
Okay, so here's my question.
Really don't
Genuinely
have to
about the
assume it
community.
when you've said the things you've said.
Facts. You
Exactly.
literally told on yourself this
Yeah,
conversation.
exactly.
Okay, so it's not me. Like again, I said it's women who do it to themselves too. Like OnlyFans is a big thing now.
That's
so
their business. That's
no,
their
it's good for them.
business.
You see how I got interrupted?
No, because you're not
see
going
how
to
I got
pivot.
interrupted?
You're not going to pivot and tell me what I should be doing with my body and who I should be doing it with. with, like, or what I should be doing with
But
on
I'm
any
saying,
social media. That doesn't
when
matter.
women sell their nude
I can,
pictures, it
okay,
contributes.
okay, you're muted for
So
that.
what?
No,
Yes,
it's
yes, so
my
what? So what,
body.
Chip?
I can sell whatever
Good
the
job.
fuck I want. That is my
Exactly.
place to sexualize myself. That doesn't give you permission. The problem with cis fucking het white men in this country
Literally gives me the
is
permission.
they feel like they can fucking
He gives
do
you the permission to
whatever they
sexualize
want.
all women because some of them do that.
Right.
No. If an OnlyFans model is selling their nude,
Okay.
Are you gonna let
It gives. Does it give you the right?
because
does it?
You guys won't even
Does
let me
it give
talk.
you the right to?
Yes.
To? Does
It
it give
does.
you the right if you see her out in public to then sexually harass her?
No, it's never right to harass somebody. But to look at her ass
but
and say,
that's-
"Dan, that's nice," yeah.
See what I mean?
Sells it for money.
Wait, publicly.
I'm
like
sorry.
in
I'm
public.
Sorry. Yeah. So so it's interesting here. There's an opportunity for you to make. You have a decision you can make with your life, Chip. You can decide two things. You can either take a step back and try listening for a little while. That might do you some good, and realize that, perhaps I am part of the misogynistic problem that we're discussing here today. Perhaps it is all men until no men.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can continue to live in your delusion. You think you're one of the good guys because
Even
you're
if
not.
even if it wasn't all men, it was definitely that.
It
one.
was definitely him.
Oh,
It was definitely Chip. I'm just going to clarify something real quick, Chip.
Oh, yeah.
I think that people are beautiful, men and women, because I am bisexual. That is my choice. I love that. I think women, and I'm binary. Thank you so much, Lainey. Fucking just over here doing things. But I can say to someone, "You are beautiful," without crossing a boundary, right? I have told Lainey plenty of times how attractive I believe that they are in a respectful manner where I don't sexualize or sexually harass.
I have had that like many
Thank you,
times, and
Vicky.
I've had men that have said that and not felt like Mo has said to me that like you are just as beautiful in person as you are on screen, and
I've never met you in person, Lainey, but I don't need to.
I did not feel at any point that he was hitting on me. Like, he was literally just like a friend saying a nice thing. But he also has talked about me being smart and capable and, and courageous and things like that. And in the same ways that like my friends of all genders, but there are times where I've had men who start out being like that and then suddenly it changes. Suddenly it changes and it's like, whoa, where the fuck did that come from? Like, it suddenly gets weird. And but that has not happened nearly as often from women. It is almost always a man that does that.
So Chip, I guess we gave you a couple of options, and we know the option you took. So this is the thing that I think young men like you in particular, you're unaware of what Jess was alluding to, which is what I was trying to get to, was emotional intimacy. So I always consider myself what's referred to as a sapiosexual. Intelligence. I'm a cis hetero male, but I'm really drawn to brains. Stimulating conversations really gets me. Yeah, seriously, it gets me. I can have stimulating conversations, but it's not sexual. It's an arousal because it arouses my brain. I'm attracted to. By and large, that's where my focus goes. It doesn't. I look past things. But that's the issue with emotional intimacy or your unawareness. It may not feel safe to you. It might feel icky because you want to talk about your feelings. Because as you've been taught, Chip, the only feelings you can show publicly are anger and lust. Thank you for proving our point once again. So maybe try that a little bit. So maybe try that. Maybe first realize that it is all men until it's no men because of exactly what you just did. Because of exactly what you did. Stop thinking you're a hero. I can guarantee you Jess does not need you to fight her battles for her. Neither does Lainey. I can guarantee if they'd like to, they can ask, but don't go into it with that assumption, my guy. Try to learn something. Try to be better. Try to be better. Research. Look up what emotional intimacy is. Look, because my God, let me tell you something. If you do end up having a relationship that it does involve sex, and you can connect with your partner at an emotional level, buckle the fuck up is all I can tell you. It'll be the best sex you've ever had in your life and it won't even be close. Won't even be close.
I'll also let you know, Chip, that like for me as a woman, and most of the women that I surround myself around, we know. I don't need you to tell me that my ass is nice. I don't need you to tell me that I'm beautiful. I don't need any of that. What I want, that is more important than your compliments about my body and how I look.
I will tell you this: like, if somebody like compliments my body before I know them well, I am immediately turned off. It is like the worst. Like, I'm like, nope, done.
Yes.
Out. I'm done. It's too. But I do want to say something about what Jess was trying to get through to him through all of his words.
Words? Were they actual words, lady?
Some were words.
There were some in there.
That that women have a hard time saying no to men because they expect they expect nothing of the sort, right? Like, and like we have, women have been trained that otherwise they'll be punished in some way, maybe not physically, but like that there will be, and there is an expectation of acquiescence. And so it's, you acquiesce to get by, to get along, right? To keep the peace because of the fear, right? Of repercussions. And we say like, it's all men until it's no men, because like when women have to go, walk at night on a sidewalk or go out to their car, after a night out, like they have to have their head on a swivel. They have their keys between their fingers. Like, men don't have to deal with that. And when you meet a man for the first time, or a man starts chatting you up at the bar and he's too close and like you don't know him, get with you when you go to the restaurant. Like, that's what we mean. It's all men until we don't have to have that fear anymore.
Because we don't know. We just don't know. And even when we think we know, I'm just going to tell you from recent events that have even happened on TikTok, even when we think we know, even when we think we're safe, we're not. So how can you be upset to say that us saying it's no men, it's all men until it's no men, is a bad thing? If you're a white man in America, or if you're a man in America, period, and you say, oh, that's offensive, then it's probably you. You're probably part of the it's all men until it's no men, because you should be okay with women not feeling safe around you until they feel safe around you. It's your job to prove that you're safe for women because you're the perpetrators.
A few weeks ago, we had a conversation. We told people, don't be a Justin. Well, don't be a Chip.
Don't be a Chip.
To your point, Jess, if you are triggered by this, or if you get a response and you're agitated by the prompt, then you're likely part of the problem. So then ask yourself this question. Do you go into it wanting to try to understand why? Like why? So I'm hosting live. People would say to me, "You're a good man, Steve." And I'm like, I'm not the arbiter for that. I don't get to make that determination. Your actions do. The things you do, the whether or not someone feels safe around you is not up to you. It's up to them. Right. If they feel safe, then they'll tell you they feel safe. And
that's also subjective from woman to woman, or from non-binary to non-binary or femme presenting. Exactly. It's also subjective. I could say that Steve is safe for me, but Steve has had an interaction with another woman that made that woman uncomfortable, and that woman says, I don't feel comfortable around him. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Did that happen? Did I miss something?
No. I was just using you as an example.
Okay. I'm sorry. God damn, it just freaked me out. I was like, holy shit, what do I need to know?
No, Steve, that was just an example. We all love Steve.
I didn't say it for that reason, but I just got freaked out for a second there. Anyway, but that's a good point, though, right? It is subjective. And certain things...
That's okay. And then
No, I was just going to say it is subjective, right? I mean, we have running jokes in our community. I always wait to see how things go. We understand because we know each other. I think we have a trust with each other that we feel like we can lean in on things a little bit that might not be that some people might find a bit offensive. That's your space. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be checking it. Again, this is for men watching and also for the women watching, because the patriarchy is not only damaging to women, but it's also very damaging to men. If you've got men in your life that are being influenced by this, if are you coddling your blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby boy to tell them they can do no wrong? Then guess what? You might be part of the problem too. Fix it.
Because there is that.
Don't be triggered by this. Don't be triggered by that.
Yeah. So here's a story that can kind of like get to like what he had been saying about like, well, I just compliment them, that's no big deal, right? So here's a way that can be an issue, right? Because even these little things like add up to, that is makes women acquiesce, right? So like a well-meaning man offers a woman a compliment at a bar. He's no sinister motive, and he is in an appropriate place for flirting, right? But when the woman rebuffs him for whatever reason, so she's in a relationship, she's not into men, or she's just not catching his vibe, right? The man feels snubbed, and that's okay. But he feels snubbed because he was polite and respectful, but not rewarded for it. This well-meaning man will probably tell you he's not owed a woman's affection, and he knows that, but he still feels hurt that he didn't get that affection, and that's fair. Rejection hurts, right? But
so well said.
Maybe he believes himself to have approached her in a kind enough way that he should have gotten and to at least talk to her for a bit. But like, after all, like, men know that like being gentlemanly is the right way to get women, right? And therefore they expect on some level to be rewarded for that good behavior. But if that sentiment drives like some of his disappointment, then it's a sense of entitlement. But that's like microscopic version of like the bigger issue, the bigger problem, right? So even like a nice guy can be sort of perpetuating that system.
I want to give a shout out to so I got a super chat on YouTube, and I had to ask because I didn't know what the hell that was. I thought I did something, like I broke something. We got our first super chat on YouTube from Just Hanging. Thank you so much, Just Hanging, for the super chat. I'll get better. I promise. I'll get better. Although, lady, if I just so you know, if you need tech help, don't go to Jess. Don't go to me. So I don't know what the hell you're going to do, but I'm just again, thank you, Just Hanging, for your super chat. I kid, but you're
Steve
right.
who set up his YouTube.
Fair enough.
Ask Steve who set up OBS.
That's fair. That's very fair. Ask Steve. Ask Jess, who couldn't find the right cable. Anyway, moving on. Dongle. Yes. Jess has got. Hey now. Jess has got more. Jess has got more dongles than anybody. I'm just saying.
I have a whole box of dongles, guys.
Box of dongles.
Have you seen that TikTok video of the guy that does like a Michael McDonald impression, and the song is "Why Do They Call It a Dongle"? It's great. It's so
Send
good.
it.
Yeah, just look up.
Look
on TikTok.
fabulous.
Look up "Why Do They Call It a Dongle." You'll find it. It's fantastic.
TJ, we're not going to talk to you because you're a disgusting human being, and we know why you don't come up here. So you can just leave. Traveler. Oh, you got mute. You're good. Dude. Okay. Can you just leave and then come back in, Traveler? Because you got an echo. All right.
You just swipe back.
Yeah. Okay,
wait.
he left.
Oh, there.
All right. You guys, here's a question. Here's a question for the chat. So my daughter is at a graduation party this evening. Okay. I'm going to ask y'all for some advice. Ultimately, I know what my answer is going to be, but I'll just be curious as to what people think. Party, there's some parental supervision, but I know the parental supervisors involved, and most of them will be 3 sheets inside of 20 minutes. So it's not like they're going to be supervising anything. So the question was, the kids could park their cars. Everybody has to turn in their keys. I got a photographic confirmation that the keys have been turned in, and then the girls want to sleep in the car. I'm thinking, your thoughts?
What happened?
They
sleeping
can't
in a car?
because they can't leave. They're not allowed to leave, and there's not enough room for everybody to sleep inside. So they want to sleep in the car.
Okay.
How many?
And where
Just
is
2 of
this?
It's in small town Vermont. I've known
Okay.
I've known these people their whole lives, so it's not like it's strangers.
It's not
I'm
isolated.
seeing a lot of no's.
I mean, I just don't like, the idea that like somebody tries to break in the car, but
I know. I get it.
But because my car's been broken into in small town Arkansas, you know what I mean? I wasn't in it at the time, but
Well, somebody said I could just drive and go pick her up. The problem is it's my car. So no, because my daughter's my daughter's car died this week, so there was no car. I could do it on my motorcycle, but it would be.
I mean,
don't think
is
I would
the
recommend
car
it.
like parked on the street, or is it like
Nope,
kind of tucked
it's in their
away,
property.
or-
It's all tucked away. It's backed up to that. There's 6 girls. There's 3 cars. 2 girls in each car.
Yeah, I think that's.
I think that's okay.
I think so too.
I would let Michaela do it.
I'm just going to let her
Just
know that
so make
I
sure
asked
that-
TikTok and they all agreed.
The door.
Well, the chat didn't. The chat all said no.
Agreed. Only the people with
agreed.
voices.
Somebody agreed. Is everybody? Wait a minute. Let me clear it with Francis and Cookie. I have to clear it with those.
Maybe they needed more information, right? Like that was a knee jerk. Because my knee jerk was no, I don't like that. But
Cookie said no in all caps. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we've had this conversation. My daughter does not consume alcohol, and neither does her friend. So I'm not concerned about that.
But there's not like any way to just like make a pallet on the floor, like,
To sleep on the bathroom floor because that's all the floor space there is left.
What? How many people are in this house?
There's only 41 kids in the graduating class. So
I'm going to be honest,
mostly-
though. I think I feel more safe with her sleeping in the car than I do in this house of
Bunch of teenagers?
70 people.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's probably true.
Just random penises all around the
Speaking
house.
Just hanging out.
Speaking of all that, just like sleeping and
Like, where do you pee?
teenage boys around. Ugh.
Ugh.
So Newshound, I appreciate you saying that.
What if
I could
somebody's
Uber
got
them
to
home.
pee? They're just like gonna
Right. So
stand
again,
over them.
we don't have Uber Eats. It's not as easy as you think. These are the kinds of things when you live in rural America, small town America, we don't have those kinds of things. I've got her. She's got my phone number. She can call.
That's true.
I wish you would have started with all of the information from the beginning. The chat probably would have a difference of opinion.
It's been,
okay.
Here's the text
Getting
have been
more
flying.
information.
Yes,
We're having this happen in real time, right?
Yeah, because you guys know when you were 18, you disclosed everything initially to your parents when you asked to go do things,
like
right?
a
Of course
little
you
bit,
did.
little by little,
Of course,
yeah.
you trickle a little bit out. No, so the situation is there's 22 people that are staying. The seniors are graduating. They've been given the priority to stay inside the house. There's just not enough room, with the exception of friend. 6 of them will be in cars. 2 girls in each car. They're all parked together. They sent me a picture. It's like a triangle, like back to back. Locked windows down. It's a cool night.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool, actually. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like, that's actually pretty cool. That's better than what I was doing when I was her age. So, W.
It's funny. Somebody said that. It's funny because I threw my tent in the back of her car when she left today. I said, worst comes to worst. But my kid, I love her to death, but I don't think she would set the tent up properly, even though I've shown her like 6 times. Even though we've camped in it a dozen times, I just don't think she'd figure it out.
The tent also doesn't feel safe.
She could call 1-800-ASK-JESS for tent help if necessary.
I actually go camping, guys. I might know how to put up I can pitch a tent.
I know you do.
That's not how I meant that.
All right. So, all right.
Anymore.
I don't want you all to worry.
Travels back
Traveler.
with the echo.
You're back with the echo. Let's see if it's back now.
Hi, Tortilla.
Okay. Traveler, are you there? Can you unmute your mic, please?
I am. Do I have the echo?
Scroll back in.
It's so loud.
Yeah, she has. Or she has.
Okay, take it out of CarPlay and just do what Jess said.
I had a frequent guest, like a regular on my show, that suddenly her phone just always did that. And then it finally fixed.
Are you there, Traveler?
She finally had to just start using earbuds.
Headphones. It's Android phones. If you have an Android, you have to use headphones for some reason. It's an update.
No, dude, so TJ, I know you love me.
Just
kiss, cuddle, cuddle, but I don't want to talk to you because you're just a despicable human being, and you should just learn from this. You should just listen. Just sit back and just listen, and hopefully you'll learn something so that whenever you're around someone, whether a woman or not, they're covering their drink. TJ, you are the epitome as to why women choose the bear.
TJ is the worst. So yes, Butchie, you can DM me. Thank you for asking.
Just remember that. Okay. So, anybody else participate? I know story Jess shared theirs. I shared mine. I was just so impressed. I got to say, I was just so impressed with what I saw. I'm not surprised by how our state shows up. We do this a lot. The independent nature of Vermont. As a reminder, Vermont, there were supposed to be 14 colonies, not the 13 original, but Vermonters are like, nope, we don't trust any of y'all. So it was kind of like and they still had their negotiations with England. They were still the Royals and the whole 9 yards, and Vermonters finally got convinced. And then, of course, they got lied to, and they're like, all right, fuck y'all. So then they were smuggling liquor during Prohibition and the whole 9 yards. There's always been a bit of an independent streak here, Vermont, that does not exist. So I was not surprised because I participated in dozens of protests around the state throughout my life, and it was great to see. It's just really good to see. And again, like I said, there were protesters there, but they were peaceful. They were just expressing. I mean, they're fascist Nazis, but they were peaceful. They weren't. Just really, really good to see it. I was just happy to see it. All right, travelers, last shot. Let's see how it goes. Nope, sorry. Oh, maybe. Okay, try it again. Unmute your mic now. Nope. Sorry. You've got some serious tech issues there. Just turn off all your Bluetooth. Just use your phone. Request again. Take off your headset. Take whatever the hell you have. Unplug your Betamax. Ronco. Turn off the Vegemix and just come on back to the conversation. Okay. Sorry, Jess, you have something to say?
Oh, no, I was just laughing at what you were saying. Oh, but so speaking of Prohibition error, we actually had somebody, this is why it's all men until it's no men, guys. We actually had a man come up and complain about the amendment because it was because women were mad at their husbands for coming home and being drunk and beating them. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, I don't understand how everything that comes from like women in history just trying to have like equal rights and just not like I don't know, be sexualized all the time. Like it's so bothersome to MAGA. Ain't it? Like non-binary individuals like hurt your feelings so bad. Like can we make it make sense or nah?
I don't think they care. End of the day, I just don't think they care.
It does.
I'll bring up Olive. They've been told they don't have to. They see their leaders not respecting women's rights. As I mentioned earlier, we know now that the full panel, the en banc panel, the appeals court denied President Trump's claim to have his case with E. Jean Carroll dismissed. It was not. He is still a convicted felon. He is still a civilly liable rapist. He is still a fraudster. That will never change. So, hi, Olive. Thanks for being here.
Hey, how you guys doing? How you guys feeling?
Hey, Olive.
Good.
My sinuses are garbage.
Yes, aside from
I'm suffering.
Well, sorry, lady. You hung out with the Hulk today, so cry me a river.
So sad.
Olive, did you see my picture?
I have not yet.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I'm going to be showing this for
weeks.
Where
can I find the photo?
You're going to see it in 1 second.
I'm excited.
Hold on. Do.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. I love that.
Look. You
Laney
see,
with the Hulk
where's my arm?
Where is
on
your
the butt.
It's
It's on the butt. It's on Hulk butt.
No, it was very close though. It was
It was close to a butt
within
touch.
inches. Yes, no, it was around his waist.
Oh, I'm so happy.
He was very sweet. He was a sweet guy.
Awesome.
I love him. Great actor.
He's in my
like a
top
good dude.
5 of good boy actors.
Good boy.
Oh, there you
I
go.
love that.
I like that. Olive, how was your day? What did you do today to defend democracy? Were you out there in the streets?
No, we were not. We were hanging out, and we wrote to some representatives about what's going on. We kept up with what's going on in the news. We watched the sad birthday parade that occurred today.
It looked very sparsely attended, did it?
10,000
It was
people?
low numbered. It was like there was 40,000 people, or they sold 40,000 tickets, and only like barely 10,000 showed up.
Can we
Yeah,
talk
they said-
about how
he said he
Trump?
was expecting he said he was expecting 200,000 people, and like
Oh.
We were all in New York
20,000 showed
City,
up.
baby.
No, and you guys were unaliving it. I caught some clips from different cities and states. There were a couple agitators that were arrested, at least here in Tennessee. I heard there's a couple specifically in Virginia that got ran over by a car.
Yeah, that was in Culpeper. That was what I mentioned earlier.
But
I'm looking at the video you play.
The original oath, I think Lainey will be able to tell us.
are you talking about what
Okay.
Trump did?
Yeah,
What'd he do?
he made
I'll play
them
it then. Okay.
He made them
Yeah,
re-enlist the oath.
The re-enlistment oath, Laney. Yep. Okay, here we go. So I apologize, everybody, if you're. Oh well, here you go.
Ready to commence the ceremony as directed.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations.
I don't.
That is
recall the
not
president's
correct.
part.
That is not correct.
I don't know, Laney.
That is what is on army.mil.
Oh,
Yeah. So I believe because although typically it would be the commander in chief, though, wouldn't it? Wouldn't the language be the commander in chief and not the president?
No, it says the President of the United States
Okay. Okay.
and the orders of the officers appointed over me.
It just
Yeah.
felt very weird when he did it because so in the video, I don't know if it showed, they also enlisted new recruits in general in the black shirts, and I believe they were wearing
Yeah.
khaki pants.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things I did look up when I saw him talking about that, and I saw the all these military members standing there, and they're like, we're going to do a re-enlistment, and I'm like, oh, is this like, are we changing the words again? I'm content with that it wasn't changed around, but there are some clips floating around of Trump having a conversation with someone wanting it to be very similar. Just, when you're looking at the video of the crowd versus, the people sitting on the stage, because Keg's breath was there with an ugly ass tie. JD Vance and his wife with 3 kids were also there. I felt bad for one of the kids. Looked like this kid was like getting overwhelmed with everything, and I could feel that internally. It's just, as we were watching it, I looked at Manny and it happened right actively.
We have another story that has just come down. This is of earlier today. So there's person of interest in custody after a shooting during a No Kings March in Salt Lake City. Police responding to a shooting during the No Kings protest in downtown Salt Lake. A crowd of about 10,000 people marched between Pioneer Park and the Federal Building when shots were fired near 200 South State Street. There is a person of interest in custody. Multiple law enforcement units are in the area trying to verify information and to determine if there is a victim. Officials are asking demonstrators to leave safely and orderly. We'll keep our eyes on that.
Which said they wanted everyone to know that they were safe.
Okay, that was my next question.
Good. I'm glad people are safe. But I mean, Martina came up into Izzy's live earlier. They're still counting, but over 11 million people participated in the No Kings protest today.
Oh, it went up because she told us it was 9 million when she joined us to start the show, so that the
they
numbers
were
keep climbing.
They're still counting.
Still counting.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be obviously they'll use GPS and they'll use all their various data points. But I did register because I just wanted to be on the list. I registered for all three of those. So the ones that I attended today.
I re-upped a email prompt to send to representatives about everything that's occurring, especially with the big beautiful bill, and then them redoing it as well. So
I wanted to play a little because I don't know if you guys have heard this, but let me read you the truth first because I think it's relevant to as it relates to just immigration in general. I don't know if you guys have heard this. I spend time on Truth Social, so you don't have to. You're welcome. I don't recommend it for your public health, or your mental health, I should say. Let me just find this because it's quite telling, as a matter of fact. Wait a minute. Then I will. Oh, the people involved have responded. Where is it?
Find the button voice. The voice button. Gotta find the voice button. The Trump voice button for truth.
Oh, I'm working on it. Yes. I will. I will definitely do that. Hold on. Is that's not the one? Wait a second.
I'm looking at him in this.
Do you see his thumb?
He's got. It's like this.
It's folded in. It's wild to me.
Yeah, it's like this, and it's also his palm is out. Like you're not supposed to show your palm. It should be like, I know you all are seeing me look at like my left hand, but it's reversed. So, but it should be like sharp with the thumb flat like that, and
it's how I terrorize my dad all the time. I would walk around and he walks around with his chief hand, his knife hands, where he talks to me like that.
So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this is telling as far as I'm concerned. Hold on.
It's just
our great farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business have been stating that our very aggressive policy on immigration is taking very good long-time workers away from them. Yeah, no fucking shit, dumbass! With those jobs being almost impossible to replace. In many cases, because lazy fucking Americans are never going to do them, you idiot. In many cases, the criminals allowed into our country by the very stupid, what about Biden? Open border policies are applying for those jobs. This is not good. We must protect our farmers, but get the criminals out of the USA. Changes are coming. Wait, what did you say? Changes are coming, sir? Hold on, wait, what's that? Hold on, wait.
I'm gonna come.
Okay.
The reason I think that is because if you follow the language of what he said by going and rounding up individuals in the agriculture, construction, manufacturing, hospitality, hotel and leisure industry that are not criminals, you have now been exposed. Saying, oh yeah, we're going to make sure we're getting the criminal, but these people aren't criminals. We probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, you think? ICE instructed not, this is now new, this is new reporting. ICE instructed not to arrest agriculture, hospitality workers. Following a tumultuous week of protests across LA and other major metropolitan areas, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has been directed to stop targeting nonviolent immigrants working in the agriculture sectors. Marked shift in the Trump administration's immigration policies, which galvanized nationwide protesters. According to the New York Times, Tatum King, a senior ICE official, sent an email Thursday to his regional counterparts who operate under Homeland Security investigations and are tasked with work-at-site enforcement. Quote, effective today, please hold on all worksite enforcement investigations / operations on agriculture, including aquaculture and meatpacking plants, restaurants, and operating hotels, King's message read. King clarified in his email that if a business operating within these sectors is being used to launder money or support human trafficking, smuggling, or other illicit activities, it is okay to target them. How would they know? Funny. However, agents were told not to arrest non-criminal collaterals. Agents were told not to arrest non-criminal collaterals, which means what, friends? They were arresting criminal, which is what the fuck we have been saying.
I mean,
this is crazy. And they are literally being called out and admitting, unlike they told you all, oh, we're going to go after only the criminals. No.
Also,
sorry.
Said,
this
is we got rid of all of them. Now the criminals are going to come get those jobs.
Exactly.
Admitting that he's not catching them at all.
Exactly. So this is Christy Noem. Again, don't forget what she said about the citizens of Los Angeles, residents of that beautiful city. Here you go.
It's a train wreck of a mayor now that is endorsing these kind of activities, has allowed her city to be completely devastated with crime. And now she's holding press conferences talking about the fact that people have the right to peacefully protest and that they're a city of immigrants. They're not a city of immigrants. They're a city of criminals because she has protected them for so many years. And we're coming in and doing what the president has said that he's going to do, and he's going to allow people to live in a safe community again. And we're going to use the authority that he has as president of the United States.
Not a city of immigrants, they're a city of criminals. Apparently not, though, since there's a lot of people who work in hospitality, agriculture, restaurants, manufacturing, who. So which is it, Botox Barbie? Which one is it, Botox Barbie? You decide.
Is this the same Christy Noem that is out of her budget already in July? Like the same
Yeah,
is
the puppy killer.
Surprised?
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Should trust her.
That's the whole ball game, friends. That is the whole ball game. This is Gavin, Mr. Trump.
Moments ago, Donald Trump made a major reversal in his mass deportation policy. Indiscriminately, he's been sending armed agents into farms and fields and ranches all throughout California and increasingly across the country. I was in Oxnard, California yesterday. I met with a 12-year-old boy, tears pouring down his face. His mom and dad, agents. 20 years. He doesn't know where they are. He has no family in the United States. He's here alone, a sixth grader. Donald Trump may not care about him, but he's finally listening to you, calling out these indiscriminate acts of cruelty.
Our farmers are being hurt badly by, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. And we're going to have to do something about that.
They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be great. Okay.
We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to happen. I think we can't do that to our farmers and leisure too, hotels. We're going to have to use a lot of common sense on that.
That's the whole ball game, friends, right there.
Not construction.
That is the whole ball game. Construction as well. I mean, don't forget, Stephen Miller and Tom Homan. Basically, Stephen Miller wants Tom Homan ICE agents to go to Home Depot and to 7-Eleven and just round people up. So the immigration policy that MAGA has been clamoring for has been one big fucking lie, as we've resolute desk isn't a fat fucking racist.
Yep. Well, and
You can own it. Own it. Own it.
The thing that makes me like not haha, not like a funny haha, but like a haha, told you so type of deal, is the fact that when we talk about these things, we can look at Arkansas in 2011, or we can look at Florida in 2023. With it's that simple, and now the entire country is going to face the consequences of this administration. The question I've been asking people when we're talking about LA is, do you believe actions have consequences? And that's what we're actively seeing. All the actions of this administration and mass consequences. Like, good news.
Unreal.
Good news with the Brett fundraiser, we have raised close to $2,000.
That's fabulous.
So
that is fabulous.
I'll
use that as a reminder. We are supporting Brett. A few merch items. Children Screaming has been removed t-shirt. That is the first item you'll see if you go to Facts HQ. Any and all proceeds of sales from that shirt from yesterday through next Friday will go directly to Brett. The link to his GoFundMe is in my bio. Also, Brett's Cash App is in my bio. Thank you. If you guys want to support us here, we're 5 subs away from our next sub target. Perhaps above my head, please gift our panelists. Ms. Wonder, how are you tonight? Thanks for being here. Ms. Wonder?
Oh shit, I'm sleeping. I just like this. Hello?
Are you? It's okay. Are you falling asleep next to me?
I do it all the time. You're my bedside.
I love that.
My little before I go to bed.
A bit there.
I appreciate you. I'll tuck you in. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, but no, like
Okay.
I just today has been, I was wholly expecting something worse to come out of Trump's shitty birthday parade thingamabob, whatever we want to call this shit, right? And I am very happy to know that I was disproven on that. But I feel like there's so much like undertow, and I don't think those tanks are going to be gone, but that's just me, tinfoil hat.
Oh, the one like that tank? Oh.
No. I'm more thinking like, very similar to what they were attempting in LA, but going to do it in DC type of deal. I mean, you can look at the street from the aftermath of the parade and see how much money they're going to have to put into the roads again out there.
This is from the National Park Service. We're honored to report that over 11 million people showed up for today's No Kings protest. The totals are still coming in.
Wow.
That's 3.5%. So that's the targeted number, right? And again, let's lean in on that. Let's not get just enough. Let's get significantly more than we need. But again, the visuals were amazing, peaceful. We want to encourage debate. Like, if you're in that, you can someday. But as long as you're not being a dick, you have a right to go out there. I don't care. But every opposition that I saw today. So I saw a guesstimate. I saw 300 people at the first one, say 500 people the second one, and about 1,500 people the third. So 2,000 people, 2,300 people roughly. And I maybe saw 100 to 150 people who were in opposition. And there were one or white man.
And all there for violence, every single one of them. Like, a guy got arrested for literally pulling out his pew and pointing it at Trump's the Democrat or whatever protesters, because not everybody's Democrat, but I just don't understand that you guys say, like, how are we rioting? How are we the party of non-peace? But like, we can put on 11 million people and still counting can all be peaceful, and you guys come to our protests unpeacefully.
That's right.
No, I think I just
Lakey, hold on, GTX. Hold on, I'm gonna mute you for a second, friend. Whoa. Now, Lakey, are you there?
Freaking out.
You got stuck in the
person at a time, so my ADHD is like firing on all cylinders right now.
It's funny though. Freaking out.
GTX, are you there? I had to mute you because you had a lot going on. You sounded like you have a zoo similar to Jess and to Sam.
Oh,
Okay. All right. No, he's still here. TJ, you're not coming up. It's just not gonna. It's not. No, nobody cares what you have to say.
Friends, I need to go. My sinuses have bested me.
Thank you. Congratulations, Lainey.
Rapture. Love you, Lainey.
Thank you, friend.
Thanks,
Love you,
y'all.
Lainey.
Love you.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here, friend.
Yes.
Honey.
I'm gonna go get some tea right now.
Good night, friend. Thank you for being here.
Good night.
Hi, Lainey.
Bye.
Hey, Rusty. How are you?
I am handy, my friend. How are you?
Friend.
Clown on top.
I'm Olive.
This whole live is about non-misogyny, and you bring up Rusty. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Damn.
Just after dark.
He gonna bite your head off.
Woo-hoo.
I was going to be nothing but that.
That was Jess.
Oh, was it Jess?
It was
Oh, my apologies.
Of course it was Jess.
I was going to be nothing but nice to you, Jess, and that may have changed now. So there.
We can listen. We can try. We can try, but I bet you'll lose.
Cookie, thank you. Cookie's trying to bribe me with pizza. Nice try, though. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you very much.
Does it have pineapple on it? Because the answer is no.
Now, apparently, I'm probably going to get a truckload of pineapple pizza delivered to my front door. Although we don't have delivery here. Sorry. I can't get pizza delivered to my house. I really can't. I'm not kidding. Yep.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you, Rusty. I love you.
I talked to Rusty earlier today. You were protests were peaceful, really well attended.
Yeah, there were thousands, and I had no idea quite as many until there's a guy who does local news on the gram, and I checked his feed, and he had a aerial shot, and it was even bigger than I thought. I only heard about a couple, Trump, but saw no counter protests, no agitators, nothing. It was really really a good one. Unfortunately, I feel kind of bad that I didn't see any truly amazing signs.
Oh, I have.
Saw some good ones.
Yeah, I think one of my favorites was the guy just walking around with a big sign that said, "I am not a paid protester."
Yeah, I like those too. Some money for a parade, but not for Snap, things like that. Somebody at the event that I was at in Stowe had an effigy of Trump with super tiny hands, which was beautifully done. It's like a paper mache. It was crazy. It was so freaking good. It was incredible.
I saw Trump go around.
Yeah, Bernie. There's a post on his X page, and you can see my big head in it. It's kind of funny. It was cool. We had a good day.
There was a guy at our protest who had a pole, so it was towering above most everybody. It was the Stars and Stripes American flag. Underneath that was "Don't Tread on Me." Underneath that was the trans flag. And it got me thinking. It's like, that there are things that we have tried to kind of take back, like the American flag. Maybe it's time to take "Don't Tread on Me" back, because that's about an oppressive government.
It's funny that you say that, because up in one of the with someone about that, because they had the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, and he had an American flag, and he was flying them both. He's like, I want to take these back, right? I want to take these back, because think about, I don't know about you guys, but when you drive around, right, or when you're out in the streets or wherever you are, you see the American flag and you see "Don't Tread on Me." Yeah. Right.
I mean, that's all I saw when I was living on base was the "Don't Tread on Me" flag and the American flag. And I remember we had a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, me and my ex-husband. And I was fully against wanting to fly that flag. Number one, flying an American flag to me, especially after Roe, just doesn't feel anything anymore. And then seeing the "Don't Tread on Me" flag underneath it, these people specifically, but but it's just. And I think we even talked about this leading up into the election. We were seeing the red, white, and blue. We were seeing the American flag all over the Democratic side. And it was like we had this pride again about it. And I mean, I don't think it's wrong. I think we should take some of these flags back.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
You
Darcy.
hit the nail on the head. Don't understand. And, unfortunately, all I can do is, here's the facts, take it or leave it. And
what? Guys, I got to end. I just got 2 flags for harassment in a row. I don't know where they came from. Somebody's mass reporting, but I got to keep my live up. So I'm going to